In the heart of the city, where skyscrapers tower like giants and neon lights flicker in every shade imaginable, lies a small neighborhood park. It's a place where children giggle on swings, parents sip coffee on benches, and dogs chase frisbees with boundless enthusiasm. The park is ordinary by day, a green patch amid the urban sprawl. Yet as the sun sets, painting the sky with strokes of orange and purple, the park begins its transformation. It is then that Aroha, a spirited 9-year-old with a cascade of dark curls and eyes full of curiosity, finds herself drawn to its mysteries. She stands at the edge of the cobblestone path, feeling the cool evening breeze brush against her cheeks. "Are you going to just stand there? Or are you coming?" calls Kavi, a mischievous sprite with wings that shimmer like silver in the fading light. He flits around Aroha, his laughter echoing like bells. "I'm coming," Aroha replies, her voice filled with excitement. She steps forward, her sneakers crunching on the gravel as she follows Kavi towards the center of the park. There, veiled in ivy and moss, stands an ancient stone archway. By day, it seems nothing more than a relic from another time, but now, as twilight descends, it shimmers with a soft luminescence. "Do you think it's safe?" Aroha asks, hesitating for a moment. Kavi grins, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "Safe? Where's the fun in that? Come on!" Aroha. Adventure awaits. With a deep breath and an adventurous heart, Aroha steps through the archway. Instantly, the world shifts around her. Colors she has never seen swirl in the sky above. The air hums with melodies that seem to come from everywhere and nowhere. "Welcome to Luminara," Kavi announces grandly, spreading his arms wide. Aroha looks around in wonder. Trees here sing gentle tunes, their branches swaying to an invisible rhythm. The ground sparkles with tiny crystals that catch the light and cast rainbows across the landscape. "It's beautiful," Aroha whispers, her voice filled with awe. Kavi nods, "And it's our job to keep it that way." "What do you mean?" she asks, her curiosity piqued. "The light here is fading," Kavi explains, his tone growing serious. "If we don't find out why and stop it, Luminara will be lost to eternal twilight." Aroha's heart races at the thought. "How can we help?" Kavi gestures toward a path illuminated by bioluminescent plants. "We start by seeking answers. Come on." As they walk, they encounter Toriro, a luminescent owl perched on a melody-singing tree. Her feathers glow softly in the dark, and her eyes reflect the kaleidoscope sky. "Greetings, young ones," Toriro says in a voice as soothing as a lullaby. "I see you found your way to Luminara." "We're here to help," Aroha declares confidently. Toriro smiles gently. "To help Luminara, you must first understand it." She offers them a riddle. What has roots as nobody sees is taller than trees. Up, up it goes, and yet never grows. Aroha frowns in concentration. "A mountain." "Very good," Toriro nods approvingly. "You have much wisdom for one so young." Kavi winks at Aroha. "Told you she'd be impressed." As they continue their journey, they meet Naira, a gentle spirit who seems to blend into the very fabric of Luminara. Her form glows like moonlight on water, shifting between silver and blue. "Aroha," Naira greets warmly, "you carry a spark within you that mirrors Luminara's own light." Aroha blushes at the compliment. "Thank you." Naira chuckles softly. "Remember this, sometimes the answers we seek are found not in what we see, but in what we feel." Their path takes them through forests where leaves rustle with laughter and across hills where shadows dance in playful patterns. Each step reveals new wonders and challenges. Talking animals with stories to tell, and rocks that rearrange themselves to guide or challenge their journey. The further they go, the more Aroha realizes that true magic isn't just about spells or mythical creatures. It's about understanding the connections between all living things and embracing her own potential. "Do you think we'll find out why the light is fading?" Aroha asks one evening as they rest beneath a canopy of stars. Kavi smiles at her, an infectious grin full of hope and belief. "With you here? I have no doubt." Together with Kavi, and guided by Toriro's wisdom and Naira's gentle guidance, Aroha learns that saving Luminara isn't just about solving a mystery. It's about discovering strength within herself she never knew existed. As they piece together clues wrapped in riddles and stories from ancient myths, Aroha's unwavering belief in the impossible inspires those around her, reminding them all that sometimes the greatest adventures begin with a single step into the unknown. And so their journey continues, a tale woven with friendship, kindness, and courage. inviting readers to see beyond the ordinary and embrace curiosity as they explore worlds both familiar and fantastical. Because here in Luminara and beyond, magic is real, if only we dare to believe. Aroha stood at the edge of the park, her heart beating with the rhythm of the city, a mix of excitement and wonder. The sun had just begun its descent, casting a warm glow over the skyscrapers that loomed like ancient sentinels. Aroha's eyes danced across the familiar scene, but tonight she felt a pull stronger than ever toward the old stone archway nestled amidst the ivy. "Do you really think it'll work?" Naira's voice, soft and filled with an ancient wisdom, lingered in Aroha's mind. Aroha had met Naira, the gentle spirit of Luminara, in a dream not long ago. It was she who first spoke of the archway's secret. Aroha tightened her grip on her small satchel, feeling the comforting weight of her favorite book inside, an anthology of myths and legends that had fueled her imagination for years. She took a deep breath, savoring the scent of grass and blooming flowers, then stepped onto the cobblestone path leading to the archway. As she approached, the air shimmered with a soft luminescence, painting her surroundings in hues of silver and blue. The archway seemed alive, whispering promises of adventure and mystery. With one last glance at the park behind her, Aroha stepped through. The world shifted around her. Colors swirled in a kaleidoscope above, and a melody filled the air, a harmony of rustling leaves and distant laughter. She found herself standing in Luminara, where reality twisted like a dream. "Welcome," a voice chirped, pulling Aroha from her reverie. Before her hovered Kavi, a sprite with wings that glinted like silver in the ethereal light. His grin was as mischievous as it was welcoming. "Hello," Aroha replied, beaming back at him. "You must be Kavi." "And you must be Aroha," Kavi said, flitting around her in playful circles. "Naira told me you were coming. She said you'd be curious enough to step through." Aroha laughed, feeling warmth spread through her chest. "Curiosity is my middle name," she declared. Kavi chuckled, his laughter a melody in itself. "Come on then, there's so much to see." Together they wandered through Luminara, where every creature seemed alive with magic. Deer with antlers made of branches grazed beside rivers clear as glass. Birds with feathers that shimmered like rainbows sang sweet songs that echoed through the trees. "Look over there," Kavi pointed with a twinkle in his eye. "That's Toriro." Aroha followed his gaze to a majestic owl perched on a branch. Toriro's feathers glowed softly in the dimming light, her eyes wise and kind. "Greetings, young adventurers," Toriro hooted gently. "I've been expecting you." Aroha approached with awe. "You're beautiful," she whispered. Toriro blinked slowly, her gaze deep and knowing. "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder," she said cryptically. "But thank you." "What brings you here?" Kavi asked, landing gracefully beside Toriro. "The same thing that brings us all together." Toriro replied enigmatically. "The fading light." Aroha's curiosity piqued at once. "The fading light?" Toriro nodded solemnly. "Luminara's light is dimming, and we must uncover why." Kavi flitted closer to Aroha. "That's why we're here, to solve the mystery and save Luminara." Aroha felt a thrill of excitement mixed with determination. "How do we start?" Toriro spread her wings wide, casting a gentle glow over them both. "With stories," she said simply. "For within stories lie truths and clues." And so they began their journey through Luminara, guided by Toriro's tales and riddles that challenged their minds and hearts. Each step brought them closer to understanding the land's mysteries and their own potential. As they traversed this dreamlike realm, Aroha discovered that magic wasn't just in spells or mythical creatures. It was in the bonds they formed and the courage they found within themselves. With every challenge faced together, Aroha's belief in the impossible grew stronger. She realized that sometimes all it took to change the world was a little curiosity and a lot of heart. The day wore on into night, and under the glowing plants of Luminara, Aroha knew she had taken the first step into something extraordinary, a place where anything was possible, if only you dared to believe. "Ready for more adventures?" Kavi asked with a wink as they paused by a sparkling stream. Aroha nodded eagerly. "Always," she replied. And so they continued onward, their laughter mingling with the melodies of Luminara, a testament to the power of friendship and the magic of believing in oneself. As they ventured deeper into this wondrous world, Aroha felt a sense of belonging she'd never known before, a feeling that perhaps this was where she was meant to be all along. The night stretched endlessly before them, filled with promise and possibility, a journey just begun but already unforgettable. And somewhere in the distance, Naira watched with quiet pride as Aroha embraced her destiny, one step at a time into the unknown. Aroha stood at the edge of the park, her eyes wide with wonder as the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in brilliant hues of orange and purple. The city around her buzzed with its usual energy, but here, in this little patch of green, a different kind of magic awaited. She took a deep breath, the scent of fresh grass and wildflowers filling her senses, and stepped onto the cobblestone path that wound through the park. "Are you ready for another adventure, Aroha?" Kavi's voice was a playful whisper in her ear. The sprite flitted beside her, his wings catching the fading light like silver mirrors. "Always," Aroha replied with a grin. Her dark curls bounced as she quickened her pace toward the ancient stone archway, its surface veiled in ivy and mystery. As they reached the archway, a soft luminescence shimmered around it, inviting them into Luminara. Aroha hesitated for just a moment, her heart racing with anticipation. Then, with a determined step, she crossed the threshold. The world on the other side was as breathtaking as she remembered. Colors danced in the sky above, and the trees hummed gentle melodies that seemed to echo the beating of her heart. Aroha felt a sense of belonging here, as if this magical realm had been waiting for her all along. Kavi somersaulted in midair, his laughter blending with the music of the leaves. "Where to first?" he asked, mischief sparkling in his eyes. "Let's find Naira," Aroha suggested. "She might know more about why the light is fading." Together, they made their way through Luminara's enchanting landscape. The ground sparkled beneath their feet, and fantastical creatures greeted them with nods and curious glances. Aroha marveled at a deer with antlers made of branches grazing nearby, while Kavi exchanged playful banter with a bird whose feathers shone like rainbows. They found Naira near a shimmering pond, her form blending seamlessly with the silvery blue hues of the water. Her eyes, deep pools of starlight, met Aroha's with warmth and wisdom. "Aroha," Naira said softly, her voice carrying the melody of 1,000 whispered secrets. "And Kavi, ever the trickster." Kavi bowed dramatically. "At your service," he quipped. Naira chuckled, a sound like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "What brings you to my corner of Luminara today?" Aroha stepped forward, her curiosity palpable. "We want to help save Luminara from eternal twilight. Do you have any clues for us?" Naira's gaze turned thoughtful. "The light fades because balance has been disturbed," she began, speaking in riddles as was her way. "Seek the owl who knows hope's embrace." "The owl?" Aroha echoed, intrigued. Naira nodded, her form shimmering like moonlight on water. "Toriro will guide you. Listen to her tales and riddles. They hold more than mere words." "Thank you," Aroha said earnestly. She could feel the weight of Naira's wisdom settling over her like a comforting cloak. With renewed purpose, Aroha and Kavi set off to find Toriro. They wandered through forests where bioluminescent plants glowed softly under the evening sky, their path illuminated by nature's gentle light. It wasn't long before they heard a soft hooting sound from above. Looking up, they spotted Toriro perched on a branch of a melody-singing tree. Her feathers glowed gently in the dark, casting an ethereal glow around her. "Greetings, young adventurers," Toriro called down to them, her voice rich with ancient knowledge. Aroha waved excitedly. "Hello, Toriro, we've come to seek your guidance." Toriro spread her wings gracefully and glided down to join them. "Guidance I can offer," she said, her eyes twinkling with wisdom and mischief alike. Kavi grinned up at her. "We've heard you love riddles." "Indeed," Toriro replied with a playful tilt of her head. "And here's one for you. In darkness hidden lies the key, where hope and light entwined shall be." Aroha pondered the riddle carefully. "Hope and light entwined?" Toriro nodded approvingly. "Yes, child. The answers you seek are often found within yourselves and each other." As they continued their journey through Luminara, Toriro shared stories of old, tales that spoke of courage and friendship, reminding Aroha and Kavi that true magic lay not in grand gestures, but in small acts of kindness and understanding. The night wore on as they ventured deeper into Luminara's mysteries. With every step they took together, guided by Naira's gentle wisdom and Toriro's hopeful tales, Aroha felt an unyielding belief growing inside her, that they could make a difference in this magical world where anything was possible if only one dared to believe. Their adventure had only just begun, a quest filled with laughter, discovery, and an unshakable belief in themselves and each other. And though challenges surely lay ahead on their path toward saving Luminara from eternal twilight's grasp, Aroha knew one thing for certain: they were ready to face whatever came next together. The sun was setting, casting long shadows that stretched like fingers across the park. Aroha skipped along the cobblestone path, her eyes wide with wonder as the sky transformed into a tapestry of orange and purple hues. The air was alive with the laughter of children and the distant hum of the city. But Aroha's mind was elsewhere, on the ancient stone archway at the park's center. As she approached the archway, its surface shimmered with a soft luminescence, inviting her to step through. Aroha took a deep breath, feeling a familiar tingle of excitement. She glanced around, half expecting to see someone watching, but the park was emptying as night fell. With a determined nod, she stepped through the archway. The world shifted around her, colors swirling like a kaleidoscope until they settled into the dreamlike landscape of Luminara. Here the air shimmered with hues unseen, and trees hummed gentle melodies that tickled her ears. Aroha felt a sense of belonging, as if this magical realm recognized her spirit. "Kavi," she called out, her voice echoing in the stillness. "Where are you?" A mischievous giggle answered her call, and Kavi appeared from behind a tree, his wings glinting like silver in the soft light. "Aroha, you're back!" he exclaimed, his eyes twinkling with delight. "Of course," Aroha replied with a grin. "I couldn't stay away." Kavi fluttered closer, his energy infectious. "There's someone I want you to meet," he said, his tone playful yet earnest. Curiosity piqued, Aroha nodded eagerly. "Lead the way." They ventured deeper into Luminara, where bioluminescent plants cast a gentle glow on their path. The ground sparkled with tiny crystals embedded in the soil, creating rainbows underfoot. As they walked, Aroha marveled at the fantastical creatures that roamed freely. Deer with antlers made of branches and birds with feathers that shimmered like prisms. Eventually, they arrived at a clearing where an ethereal figure awaited them. Her form glowed with shades of silver and blue, shifting like moonlight on water. Her eyes were deep pools of starlight, holding ancient knowledge and warmth. "This is Naira," Kavi announced with a flourish. "She's one of Luminara's oldest spirits." Naira inclined her head gracefully, her presence both calming and enigmatic. "Welcome, Aroha," she said, her voice like a gentle breeze rustling through leaves. Aroha felt an immediate connection to Naira, as if they'd known each other forever. "It's nice to meet you," she replied, her voice filled with awe. Naira smiled softly. "I've heard much about you from Kavi. Your curiosity is like a beacon in our world." Aroha blushed slightly, feeling both proud and humbled. "I just want to understand everything," she admitted. "There's so much magic here." "Magic is everywhere," Naira said, her words laced with wisdom. "You simply need to know where to look." Kavi nudged Aroha playfully. "Naira's full of riddles. She's always making me think." "And what better way to learn?" Naira countered with a twinkle in her eyes. Aroha laughed, feeling lighter than air. She sensed that Naira had much to teach her, not just about Luminara, but about herself as well. As they spoke, Naira's form seemed to blend into the surroundings like a mirage. Yet her presence remained strong, a guiding light in their journey. "Tell me," Aroha began hesitantly, "do you know anything about the fading light?" Naira's expression grew thoughtful, her gaze distant as if peering into another realm. "The fading light is more than just a phenomenon," she explained cryptically. "It reflects imbalance, an echo of something deeper within Luminara." Aroha listened intently, trying to grasp the meaning behind Naira's words. She knew there was a puzzle to solve here, one that required not only cleverness but understanding. Kavi leaned closer to Aroha, whispering conspiratorially. "Naira loves speaking in riddles," he said with mock exasperation. "But that's what makes it fun," Aroha replied with a grin. Their conversation continued late into the night under Luminara's kaleidoscope sky. With each exchange of words and ideas, Aroha felt herself growing, a seed of knowledge taking root within her heart. As dawn approached and bioluminescent plants dimmed their glow once more, Naira gave them one final piece of advice. "Remember this, true strength lies not in grand gestures, but in small acts of kindness and courage." With those parting words echoing in their minds, Aroha and Kavi set off on another adventure. one filled with laughter and discovery as they sought answers hidden within themselves and their bond with each other. And though uncertainty loomed over Luminara's fate like clouds before rainstorm, they faced it together, with hope kindled by friendships forged through shared dreams woven into reality itself. The sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the park as Aroha bounded over the lush green grass. Her dark curls danced with each step, eyes alight with the promise of adventure. She paused at the ancient stone archway, fingers brushing the ivy-clad surface. "Ready, Kavi?" she called out, her voice brimming with excitement. Kavi, the mischievous sprite with wings that shimmered like silver, flitted beside her. "Always ready for a little mischief," he grinned, his voice as light as the evening breeze. Together they stepped through the archway into Luminara, where the air shimmered with hues unseen, and every leaf seemed to hum a gentle melody. As their eyes adjusted to the kaleidoscope sky above, they noticed a soft glow emanating from a nearby tree. Perched on a branch was Tariro, the luminescent owl. Her feathers glowed softly, casting a warm light around her. Her eyes, deep pools of wisdom, watched them with a knowing gaze. "Welcome back, travelers," Tariro hooted, her voice a soothing melody. "I have been waiting for you." Aroha beamed up at her. "Tariro, we need your help. The light is fading and we don't know why." Tariro nodded slowly, her gaze thoughtful. "The answers you seek are woven into the fabric of Luminara itself. But remember, not all solutions are found in the light. Sometimes you must embrace the shadows to find your way." Kavi tilted his head, intrigued. "Are you saying we should look where we least expect?" "Precisely," Tariro replied, a hint of amusement in her tone. "But first, a riddle to guide your path. What flies without wings and cries without eyes?" Aroha pondered the riddle, her mind racing through possibilities. "A cloud?" she ventured after a moment's thought. Tariro's eyes twinkled. "Very good, young one. Clouds hold many secrets. They dance between light and shadow, much like the answers you seek." The owl spread her glowing wings and took flight, leading them deeper into Luminara. Aroha and Kavi followed eagerly, their footsteps light on the sparkling soil. As they walked, Aroha glanced at Kavi. "Do you think Tariro's stories are true, about Luminara's past and all its wonders?" Kavi shrugged playfully. "Who knows? But it's fun to imagine, isn't it?" Their banter filled the air as they journeyed onward, their path illuminated by bioluminescent plants that glowed softly in the growing dusk. Soon, they reached a clearing where Naira awaited them. The spirit's form shimmered like moonlight on water, her presence both calming and enigmatic. "You've come far," Naira greeted them with a serene smile. "But your journey is just beginning." Aroha nodded, determined. "We won't stop until we find out what's causing the light to fade." Naira's gaze softened as she looked at Aroha. "You have a gift for seeing beyond what others see. Trust in that gift." Kavi interjected with a grin. "And what about me? Any advice for a mischievous sprite?" Naira chuckled softly. "Your heart is your compass, Kavi. Let it guide you, even when your mind plays tricks." Their conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter and moments of reflection as Naira shared tales of Luminara's history. Stories of ancient myths and legendary creatures that had shaped the land. As night fell and stars began to twinkle in the enchanted sky above, Tariro returned to their side. Her presence was a comforting beacon in the darkness. "Remember," she said softly, "the magic you seek is not just around you, but within you." With renewed resolve, Aroha and Kavi thanked their guides and set off once more into the unknown. Their adventure was far from over, but they carried with them the wisdom of Tariro's tales and Naira's gentle guidance. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with riddles and mysteries yet unsolved. But together, they would face whatever challenges lay in wait, united by friendship and an unyielding belief in the impossible. As they disappeared into the night, Luminara shimmered with possibilities, inviting them and readers to dream beyond the ordinary and embrace the magic within their hearts. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the park. Aroha sat cross-legged beneath the ancient oak tree, her eyes fixed on the stone archway veiled in ivy. It was almost time. She could feel it in the air, a tingling sensation that made her heart flutter with anticipation. "Are you ready, Aroha?" Kavi's voice, light as a breeze, broke the silence. Aroha turned to see the mischievous sprite hovering nearby, his silver wings catching the last rays of sunlight. "As ready as I'll ever be," she replied with a grin. Let's unravel some mysteries. Together, they approached the archway. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the air around them shimmered and Luminara beckoned. Stepping through the archway was like entering a dream. Colors danced around them, shifting and swirling in patterns that defied logic. Aroha marveled at the kaleidoscope sky above, each hue more vibrant than the last. It felt like walking into a painting where anything was possible. Kavi flitted beside her, his excitement palpable. "What do you think we'll find today?" "Maybe something unexpected," Aroha mused, her eyes wide with wonder. "I hope we meet Toriro again. Her stories are always so full of clues." As if summoned by Aroha's words, a familiar figure emerged from the branches of a nearby melody-singing tree. Toriro, the luminescent owl, perched gracefully, her feathers glowing softly in the twilight. "Aroha, Kavi?" Toriro greeted them with a nod. Her voice was soothing, like a lullaby carried on the wind. "I see you've returned to seek answers." Aroha nodded eagerly. "We want to know more about the fading light. How can we help?" Toriro tilted her head thoughtfully. "The light is tied to the heart of Luminara itself. To restore it, you must understand what dims it." Kavi buzzed with curiosity. "And how do we do that?" The owl's eyes twinkled with wisdom. "Sometimes the answer lies not in what you see, but in what you feel." She spread her wings and took flight, leading them deeper into the magical realm. The path Toriro led them on wound through fields of bioluminescent flowers that glowed like stars against the darkening landscape. Aroha reached out to touch them, feeling a warm pulse beneath her fingers. "Do you think they're alive?" she asked Kavi, who was darting between blossoms. "Everything here has a life of its own," Kavi replied with a laugh. "Even the rocks have stories to tell." They continued their journey until they reached a clearing where Naira awaited them. The spirit's form shimmered in shades of silver and blue, blending seamlessly with the surroundings. "Naira!" Aroha called out, waving enthusiastically. Naira smiled warmly. "Welcome back, young seekers. What brings you here tonight?" "We're trying to understand why the light is fading," Aroha explained. "Can you help us?" Naira's gaze softened as she regarded them both. "The light fades when balance is lost," she said gently. "To restore it, one must find harmony within themselves and with others." Aroha pondered this for a moment. "So it's about friendship and understanding?" "Precisely," Naira replied with a nod. "And sometimes it's about letting go of fear and embracing trust." Kavi twirled midair, his curiosity piqued. "But how do we know when we've found that balance?" Naira chuckled softly. "You'll feel it, a sense of peace that fills your heart and lights your path." As they continued their exploration, Aroha felt a newfound determination growing within her. The lessons from Toriro and Naira resonated deeply, weaving themselves into her thoughts like threads of a tapestry. They ventured further into Luminara, where mythical creatures roamed freely and everyday objects seemed to possess their own consciousness. Each encounter brought laughter and discovery, deepening Aroha's understanding of this enchanting world. As night fell, they found themselves standing by a crystal-clear river that mirrored the kaleidoscope sky above. The water flowed gently, its surface sparkling with tiny rainbows. Aroha knelt by the riverbank and gazed at her reflection. "Do you think we're getting closer to solving the mystery?" she asked Kavi. Kavi landed beside her, his wings folding neatly against his back. "I think we're learning more about ourselves along the way." Aroha smiled at his words, feeling a warmth spreading through her chest, a sense of connection not just with Kavi, but with everything around them. As they began their journey back to the archway, Aroha felt a renewed sense of purpose. The mysteries of Luminara were unfolding before her eyes, each revelation bringing her closer to understanding both this magical realm and herself. She knew there were more challenges ahead and perhaps even more riddles to solve. But with Kavi by her side and guidance from wise friends like Toriro and Naira, she felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. As they stepped through the archway back into their familiar world, Aroha glanced over her shoulder at Luminara one last time. The air shimmered with promise, a reminder that magic existed all around them, if only they had the courage to see it. With a heart full of hope and determination, Aroha knew this was just the beginning of an incredible adventure, one that would teach her more than she'd ever imagined about friendship, courage, and believing in the impossible. And as they walked away from the park under a sky now painted with stars, Aroha couldn't help but feel that no matter what mysteries lay ahead, she was ready to embrace them all. The park was quiet, save for the soft rustle of leaves and the distant hum of the city that never slept. Aroha sat cross-legged beneath the ancient stone archway, her fingers tracing the intricate patterns carved into its weathered surface. The air shimmered with anticipation, as if the world itself held its breath. Beside her, Kavi fluttered impatiently, his silver wings catching the last golden rays of sunlight. "Are you ready, Aroha?" he chirped, his voice a playful melody that danced through the evening air. Aroha nodded, her eyes alight with excitement. "I've been ready since the day I first saw this archway," she replied, her voice brimming with determination. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the archway began to glow softly. It was time. Aroha took a deep breath and stepped through, Kavi flitting beside her like a mischievous shadow. Luminara welcomed them with open arms, a realm where reality bent like light through a prism. The kaleidoscope sky above shifted colors with every heartbeat, while trees hummed gentle melodies that resonated deep within one's soul. "Look," Kavi pointed ahead, his eyes wide with wonder. "There's Tariro!" Perched on a branch of a melody-singing tree, Tariro the luminescent owl watched them with eyes that seemed to hold the secrets of the universe. Her feathers glowed softly in the dim light, casting an ethereal glow around her. "Welcome back, Aroha," Tariro hooted warmly. "And you too, Kavi. What brings you to my part of Luminara this time?" "We're here to find out why the light is fading," Aroha explained earnestly. "We need to save Luminara." Tariro tilted her head thoughtfully. "Ah, the fading light, a mystery wrapped in layers of history and magic. But remember, young ones, sometimes the answers we seek are hidden in plain sight." Aroha furrowed her brow. "In plain sight? But where do we start?" "Perhaps," Tariro began, her voice a soothing lullaby, "you should seek out Naira. She knows more about Luminara's heart than anyone else." Kavi perked up at this. "Naira? She's always full of riddles. I love riddles." Aroha smiled at Kavi's enthusiasm. "Then let's go find her," she decided, determination sparking in her eyes. They thanked Tariro and set off down a path illuminated by bioluminescent plants. The glow from these plants cast playful shadows that danced along with them as they journeyed deeper into Luminara. As they walked, Kavi flitted around Aroha's head, his curiosity as boundless as hers. "Do you think Naira will help us?" "I hope so," Aroha replied thoughtfully. "But even if she doesn't have all the answers, maybe she'll point us in the right direction." Just then, a gentle breeze swirled around them, carrying with it a faint whisper, an invitation to follow its path. They exchanged a glance and nodded in unison, trusting their instincts as they veered off the main path. The forest opened up into a clearing bathed in soft moonlight. There stood Naira, her form shimmering like moonlight on water. Her eyes were deep pools of starlight, filled with ancient knowledge and warmth. "Aroha Kavi," she greeted them with a serene smile. "I've been expecting you." Aroha approached cautiously but eagerly. "Naira, we need your help. The light in Luminara is fading, and we don't know why." Naira regarded them both with a mixture of affection and mystery. "The light fades because it seeks balance," she said cryptically. "Sometimes what we perceive as loss is merely change, a chance for renewal." Kavi scratched his head, puzzled. "Balance? Renewal? How do we find that?" Naira chuckled softly, her laughter like tinkling chimes. "You must look within yourselves and around you. The answer lies not just in grand gestures, but in small acts of kindness and understanding." Aroha pondered this for a moment before asking, "How can we bring back the light?" "You already possess what you need," Naira assured them. "The light within each of you can reignite what is dimmed outside." With those words echoing in their minds, Aroha and Kavi left Naira's presence more determined than ever. As they walked back through Luminara's vibrant landscape, they talked about everything they'd learned. "Kavi," Aroha began thoughtfully, "maybe it's not just about finding answers, but also about creating them together." Kavi nodded enthusiastically. "Yeah, like solving riddles with friends." Their journey continued under the watchful gaze of twinkling stars above, a journey filled with laughter, discovery, and an unwavering belief that together they could restore the light to Luminara. As they reached the edge of the forest where their adventure had begun, Aroha paused to look back at the magical realm behind her. She knew that even though challenges lay ahead, she had everything she needed: friendship, curiosity, and an unyielding hope. And so they stepped forward into the unknown once more, ready to embrace whatever wonders awaited them next in this extraordinary world where anything was possible if only one dared to believe. The path ahead was uncertain but full of promise, a reminder that sometimes all it takes is a single step into the unknown to begin an unforgettable adventure that changes everything forever.